Hello and welcome to Hidden Network. So today I'm going to talk about how to play this game and go through a couple rounds just to explain. So Hidden Network is all a game about being a hacker and hacking computers, trying to expand your influence through the network in order to find another hacker before you're found. An interesting part about the game is that the rounds run really quick because they end as soon as one person is found instead of it being like a last person standing type situation. So, with that said, if you go on Tabletop Simulator here, you'll have a couple different instructions here. This top one here is going to give you the terms and then also talk about some different player modes. And then this is going to be your actual instructions explaining how to play the game. So you can see it's pretty short, it's pretty straightforward, and I'll walk you through it right now. Okay, so to start off with, we're going to say that I'm the yellow player here. And we're going to play as a 4-player game. So you can see here on the board, you'll notice a couple different things. One is that there's all these different little symbols on the computers. Two is that there's 4 different colors. All the computers that start as your color is called your home network, which will be important here in a second. You'll also notice here there's coordinates on the side. You have numbers down the side and letters across the top. And those are the main things to notice for the board. So to start out with, every player is they'll get to search their deck and pick which coordinate they want to be at. So this is going to be kind of like your hiding spot. Go in here, you'll search, you'll decide where you want to go. So let's say that I want to go to C9. So I will grab C9 here. And you want to have it face down next to your corner of the board right here. And we'll just draw off the top for these guys. And like I said, you want it to be at your corner of the board. You won't show anybody this coordinate card, and this is your hiding spot. So if anyone ever infects your computer, which we'll talk about here in a second, the one that you're hiding at, then you have to flip this card and say, hey, yep, that's where I was hiding. So how that's going to work is to start out with, everybody will draw 3 ability cards. So we'll take these. And when you're playing, you'll put them in your hand, but I'll just put these face up so we can look at them together. And I'll walk through what these do here in a second. And this will be your starting hand of ability cards. And everybody will get 3 cards at the start. And then you will go ahead and start. And again, these you won't show to everybody. You'll keep them in your hand. So the last things that I want to touch base on are these bags right here. These are your bags of viruses, which are tokens that you'll use to control other parts of the board, and we'll talk about that in a second. And then these right here are just counter tokens. So some of the cards have you count down until an ability activates, and for those you'll use these counters. So let's talk about what's on these cards. So we'll look at this one first. So brute force attack, this one's pretty straightforward. The if statement on these cards is going to tell you when you can play the card, and then the then statement is going to tell you what happens when you play the card. So brute force attack, if you play this card at the start of your turn, so this will be like the first thing you do on your turn, then you get to draw 2 extra viruses, which again we'll talk about in a second. Now these other 2 here, you'll see that they have coordinate written on them. Now these work a little bit different, the coordinate cards do. So if this PC is infected by another player, so this won't be when you play it. What will actually happen is you will take a coordinate card and you get to pick which one, but I'll just draw randomly for this. And you'll stack them on top of each other like this, and you'll lay them out in front of you. And then when someone tries to infect this computer, which is E7, which would be this one right here. So if pink tries to place a token there, which isn't the correct token, but I'll get to that. Tries to place a token there, then you'll say, hey, you activated my trap card. Then you'll do the then statements. So if they try to infect that computer, which we just talked about, then the computer is infected, so they successfully will get to keep that computer. And also, then you get to see all of their cards both in their hand and face down. So that when it says both in their hand and face down, it means any that are stacked like this, but you won't be able to look at the coordinate, just the ability card. And then also we'll get to look at these cards here. So, and that is essentially how the cards work. And the cards do a variety of different things. So like for instance, this one says if you play this card at the start of your turn, then one of the viruses you draw becomes wild, meaning that you can use it to infect any adjacent computer no matter what the actual type it normally requires. And these cards do a variety of things. So for instance, some of them are more defensive. They make it harder for your computers to get infected, while others actually are more offensive. They'll let you place tokens randomly around the board, that kind of stuff. Okay, so let's talk about how you actually control computers. So at the start of your turn, you will draw 4 tokens. There's 4 different symbols, so you can see 3 of them here, and then the Trojan horse right here. And you are able to place these tokens on any computer that matches the same symbol that's on the token. So for instance, I can go here, 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 or here. Now I cannot place this token here, for instance, because I do not own any computer adjacent to this one. So since I don't own an adjacent one, I cannot go there. So I could only go here, for instance, if I was trying to go after blue. So I'll place one there, and then I can go right here, and then right here, and then right here. So these symbols all match the computer that they go to, and you owned an adjacent computer when you decided to place the token on there. Now, the point of controlling other people's computers is that you're trying to find what their coordinate card is. So this guy is at D5. So I actually found him on my first token. So he would have told me, hey, you found me right after I placed the first token. And that's the whole point of the game, is trying to find the other person by controlling other people's computers. And you'll find that the games go pretty quick, and they can turn into more of a race to find a specific person. For instance, like if orange has quite a few tokens over here in blue, and pink doesn't really have anything in their area, then I'm going to probably want to go towards blue, because there's a higher chance I'm going to find blue than there is pink, because blue has more spaces covered, which means there's less spaces that they could be. Okay, so we'll walk through a turn real quick. So at the start of your turn, you get to draw 4 things, and they can either be 4 virus tokens and no cards. They could be 2 virus tokens and 2 cards, 3 virus tokens and 1 card, etc. So we'll go 1 card, and again, you wouldn't show this to everybody, and then we'll go 3 tokens. Okay, so now if you look at this, we have this trace coordinate card, which we'll probably just keep for now because no one's tried to attack us yet. And then these 3 tokens, we're going to go towards pink this time. So I'm going to match. I'm going to actually go here, and then here to match, and then here. And then that will be my turn. And then blue will go, then orange will go, then pink will go, and then we'll come back to my turn. This time I'm going to draw 4 tokens. Okay. And so now places that I can go with this one, I can go here, 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 or here. So, and it doesn't matter what order I place the tokens in, it's totally up to me. And I'm going to go ahead and go here, and here, and here, and here. Okay, and let's check and see if we found pink yet. So pink is an I6, so we have not. So pink is actually up here. So we would have to keep going in this case because we have not found them yet. The one last thing to cover is that you can take back your own area. So for instance, if I'm the pink player and I drew this, I could place it and remove this one. This one goes back to the yellow player's bag, and I can take that back. And let's just say I have a full draw here, and I could do that the same thing here, and then I could do the same thing here. And lastly, I could do the same thing here. So that helps me clear out yellow from invading my territory, and is more defensive. A lot of times you'll want to be more aggressive than defensive, but there are certain situations where you want to defend yourself. And that pretty much covers it. So there's instructions here in this tutorial video, so hopefully you enjoy playing the game.